Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Mushroom Cloud Malhama. Adventures in the Great Slaughter. Journeying through space and time. A walkabout through an apocalyptic landscape. So here we are on the front lines, body and mind. And we need to consider that in this shadow side holistic extinction level event, this genocide, this ecocide against all of humanity, against all of the interconnected, interdependent, interrelated realm of creation, including all creatures at the macro and micro level, how do we push forward and endure till the end? As Isa alayhi salam, as Yeshua the Messiah has told us we need to do to receive the blessings. Well, since we got bookends from the beginning to the end, and we got Adam and Eve at the beginning and Adam and Eve at the end, these two witnesses, these two companions, this husband and this wife, this model for humanity that is enduring across space and time, the divine pairs, the sacred union, the sacred pairs of humanity, the woman and the man. As we move from our garden state of purity, of organic naturality, of harmony with nature, of harmony with natural law, which is the sacred divine law that is threaded through all of creation. The true Sharia, the true path to water, is natural law. This is the word of Allah. This is kun. It is be and it is. Reverberating through your clay beds, which is your ancestral clay, your genetic coding, and that which is imprinted upon it through nature and nurture across the span of millennia after millennia after millennia. And that you have access to this entire library. All of these data banks are held within your sacred clay, buried within you as a sacred treasure for you to find. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Spoken by the Messiah, peace be upon him, as a message directly to you specifically. This is real. So we are in Adamic sacred clay. Our genetic structure is sacred. What other means do you have of worshiping the Creator, if this is the way that you would term it, the way that you would phrase it? What better way of showing devotion and appreciation than knowing oneself, than knowing one's body, one's mind, than exploring it as if your whole body, your whole mind is a sacred book, it's sacred text. It is the recital, it is the Quran. A Musaf only points you toward it. The Quran even says to read the inner signs, to read the signs within yourself. What else do you think they are? They're your memories. They're the genetic encodements. They are your thoughts. They are your ideas. They are your dreams. They are your visions. It's your creative process. Everything matters. Everything is real, except for the attachments to falsified constructions, the Dajjalic devil tech realm around you that is also threaded through you because they've been working on you since before you were born to entrap you, to enslave you, to ensnare you, to sabotage you. It's the satanic prerogative discussed within the Quran's Musaf. But this library, you are a walking library. You are a walking university system. You have all the data from your ancients. Why do you think that they are so intent on cutting you off from it? On cutting you off from one another? On cutting you off from us? From we? From our? This is the hour. We are in the season, without doubt, brothers and sisters. It's not off in the future. It's not off in the distance. It's right here and right now. The Malhama rages about you. But people are caught up in delusions and illusions. They are attached to teachers. They are attached to ideas. They are attached to systems. And they've never even explored the framework of their body, which is sacred script. Read your body. Read the body sensations. Read your breath. Read the blood pulsing through your temples, through your jugular, through your wrists, through the inner elbows, behind the knees, between the fingers and toes, within your stomach region, the expansion and contraction of your chest and your belly as you breathe. The coursing of oxygen and waste and nutrients through the bloodstreams. Observe. Sit in silence in a stable position. Sit in sujood, in sajda, late into the night. Observant. Be aware, be mindful, be appreciative. This is worship. This is devotion. Kun is the word of Allah. Kun is threaded through all of creation. Kun is not separate from anything. Kun permeates everything. It surrounds everything. It's soaking everything. Everything is soaked in Kun, in divine vibratics. You have direct access to sacred script, whether you have seen and held a Musaf in your entire life. It's all right there for you. Study the outer signs like Ibrahim alayhi salam studied them. And come to realization, come to epiphany. Come to direct experiential insight. Dig in your clay beds and find treasures that have been left there for this specific time, for you. If you hear the words that I'm saying, then these messages are for you. If they reverberate within you, your clay is sacred. You are here for a reason. We are to be of benefit. We are to awaken. We are to realize our potentials, our exponential potentials, and we are to share abundantly. This is right guidance. This is the path of the Imam Mahdi. To share freely of our energy in an excellent manner. To go through the holistic Toba process, the holistic Tazkiyah process. Letting go of all idolatry. Letting go of all false conceptualizations and undue devotion to false concepts of people, places, things, ideas, and systems. Letting it go. Going through a hard detach. Then hovering in close and remaining warmly non-attached to see things as they are. Purifying it with presence, with awareness, with appreciation. Disintegrating it. Purifying it with awareness. Contemplating it. And then, bit by bit, reintegrating the purified experience into our bodily and mental frameworks as lessons. And then those lessons are tremendous wealth. They are treasuries, and we share freely from them. As the Imam Mahdi, this is what is written. This is what is expected. This is the prophetic path, to share freely and abundantly. We do not allow vampirism upon our bodies and our minds and our energy fields any longer. We are not human resources for others to pick and steal from, to entrap and ensnare in a riba system, to enslave. We stand against every single form of slavery and enslavement, period. Every single human is born free and always was. Only lies have been claimed. People have lied on the prophets. There are whole text collections lying on the prophets again and again. We stand against this wholeheartedly, fervently. Does this mean that those collections that exist within various traditions are without benefit? No, there is benefit within them, but we must study them critically, with awareness, with presence. We must check it against actual factual ethics that are derived from a close study of natural law. As we study the outer and the inner signs, and we realize the patterns. The patterns that let us know that harming and toxifying our bodies and our minds through repetitive thinking, through speech patterns, through action is sinful because it destroys and disrupts the relationships within the body and the mind framework. To cause disharmony and toxicity and toxification to our relationships with others in thoughts that are repetitive, in words, in actions. This is sinful. This is wrong. This is sin. And when I say others, to cause disharmony and toxicity toward others in relationship, that includes humans, it includes non-humans, it includes Muslims, it includes non-Muslims, it includes the ecosystems, it includes all creatures, because they are there for us to care for, to appreciate, to love, to protect, to guard and to guide, to allow them to live their natural lives and live abundantly in harmony with nature, to realize their potentials, their potentiality. And by assisting them in this process, we realize our potentials. Because when we realize that non-harming is the true Islamic ethic, and minimizing harm to the greatest extent possible towards self and others in thought, word, and deed, when we realize this truth, then we are worthy inheritors of the earth. Your body is the earth. Your surroundings, your environment is the earth. You were born to be a caliph of the earth. This is not meant for somebody other than you. You are a direct descendant of Adam alayhi salam, of original humanity. The full inheritance is within you. You contain every single prophet, peace be upon all of them, within you, within your genetic encoding. It's not for special families. If somebody has a story about them being descended from a prophet directly, peace be upon them, then this is to inspire and motivate them to really seek to be their very best. We know from the prophetic stories that many people are very corrupt from prophetic families. Very. Look at the 10 brothers of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. Apart from Benjamin, may Allah be pleased with him, 10 corrupt brothers. Depending on which story you're reading, they were willing to sell him into slavery, to allow him to fall to his death, to kill him, to eliminate him, to prevent him from inheriting what was rightfully his. They too had every single opportunity to realize his talents and abilities, because it existed within them as well. But they took the devil path, the heart-sealing path. Inshallah, they repented before they died. We do see that they apologized and sought to remedy the situation with Yusuf. However, he held a high power position. He could have imprisoned them, he could have tortured them, he could have eliminated them from the face of the earth with a snap of a finger. But he chose not to. Because as a prophet, as a descendant of prophets, as a righteous man, as a descendant of Adam alayhi salam, in all of the excellence that's entailed in that, he chose the path of kindness, of mercy, of compassion, of love, which is the right hand path. That's the path of bayah. That's how you show bayah. That's how you do bayah. People want to do all kinds of blind rituals. People want a ritual all day long, dress like kings, dress like they're a sultan. Reprehensible, unprophetic to the nth degree. Peace to all the creatures. If we have the ability to not utilize your energy and your flesh, then we will do so, because this is the prophetic imperative. Just because we have the ability to harm does not mean we should, does not mean that we have the right to do so. We are to protect others. We are not to exploit others. We are not to take advantage of others. We are never to be cannibals, nor are we to be vampires. We are not energetic vampires. We are not to take the blood of other creatures, right? We're not to take the flesh of living creatures as sustenance. I mean, we could go deep into that. And I think we should, inshallah. We are on the path of Adam alayhi salam. We are on the path of the prophets. To seek truth and to surrender to truth is Islam. One who is in surrender to truth and truth alone and never to falsity. You are among the Muslimin. What is the Shahadatain? We witness that truth is one. If you are encased in one with Kun created sacred clay, Kun created sacred living water coursing through you, imbued and soaked in ruh. When you witness that, when you are witnessing that with presence, with appreciation, with devotion, seeking wholeheartedly, in surrender to truth, then you are witnessing La ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. If you recognize and seek to follow the sunnah of the Prophet by realizing the best of your humanity, the excellence of what it means to be human, and you have the excellent exemplar of humanity within your flesh as a descendant of Adam alayhi salam and containing every single prophet, peace be upon all of them, within your very DNA. And you are seeking to live according to non-harming as your ethic and to protect all of creation because your heart is an ark that can contain all of creation within it with appreciation, with love, with kindness. You are a Nuh, alayhi salam. You have him within you. You have him as your example. All of creation is interconnected. It's all interconnected. And your heart is the doorway. This is where everything, that is the point of conjunction. This is where the two seas meet. The inner and the outer. The subtle and the obvious. The spirit and the matter. The light and the dark. It all converges and conjuncts within your human heart. This is beautiful. This is wondrous, subhanAllah. You contain every single prophet within you. This is not distant from you. It's not far out. I mean, you can doubt me, you can question me. I don't hold myself above questioning. However, we need to be certain. We need to seek truth wholeheartedly. It's amazing how terribly people talk about one another and the actions they're willing to do and that they go through with without real prayer, without real contemplation, without real consideration. It's troubling, it's problematic. The Ummah should be unified. We need to transcend history and historicity in order to do that. And we need to let go of these unhealthy attachments to false concepts of people, places, things, and ideas. If you're a truth seeker, then you and if you are realizing that Dajjal is a problem, the fitna of Dajjal is a problem, then you need to be looking for falsehood, the pseudo-truth, the pseudo-messiah, the artificiality, the synthetic, the unreal, the lie, the untruth. But you're willing to take synthetics into your stream? You're willing to take artificiality into your stream? Even when they tell you the truth about what it is? And then you're going to dare to sit in judgment of anyone else who's trying to warn people? Astaghfirullah. Be wise. We got so many brilliant people that are tremendously unwise and lack basic common sense. 5.5 billion. It's heart-wrenching. It's devastating. That's not even including other adulterants. that have destabilized us through the air and toxins, through the water, through the food, through the meat. Yeah, the flesh of creatures that you weren't considering in an ethical way to begin with because you made excuses. You get your little religious excuse and you're good to go. You're willing to hurt and harm everyone that you were meant to protect. Consider that. Go spend some time in deep sajda, sujood, sit in silence. Contemplate this. Observe nature closely. Observe your own nature. Observe your thought process. Observe your desires. And be very honest with yourself about what you're desiring. Observe the words that come off of the tongue. You are loved and appreciated. Let's be good to one another. Let's be good to ourselves. Let's come out of this misery, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.